everyone, and welcome to another session of Building Blocks. I'm Judy Brown from the Little Fabric Garden, and I have a cute little Valentine project to show you today. It just seems so funny that here we are getting ready for Valentine's. It seems like we were just getting ready for Christmas, and you know, time just marches on. But here's the project that we're going to be working on today, or I'm going to show you how to do it. And I think what I plan to do is just to kind of show you how I did it, and I'm not going to go through every single step. I'm going to explain what I did, and then I think that you're going to be able to tell just by the look of this. And if you go onto the website, onto the library's website, you'll be able to get the pattern, and it'll show you, there's a picture of it in there also that you can take a look at, and you'll be able to place your hearts where I've placed mine. So it's not a big project. It just takes a little explaining, but not much. So let's get started. I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do this project. All right, so what you need is a background fabric. So this is a yard of background fabric where you can see it right here. You can use any color you want. If you had something that had a tiny little heart print in it that you wanted to use, that you would be able to use that also. So a yard of this, and then you're going to need a half a yard of this fabric, which is the inside border and also the binding, which if you take a look, you will see that I don't have any binding on this. And that is because when I got home last night to put the binding on this, I realized that I left it here at the store. So here it is with no binding. The binding fabric is over there. All right, so you need a half yard of this, which again will be for the inside border and the binding. And this white fabric that I showed you that you needed the yard of, it's for this background, but it is also for the outside border. All right, you're going to need a crib sized batting, and you're going to need some fusible, like Wonder Under, or you know, something like that. I use Wonder Under because that's what I've been using forever, and I'm just comfortable using it. So you need about a yard of that, and then you need your prints for your hearts. Now you need 24 hearts to do this. So what I did was I picked 8 of them, and then out of the 8 colors that I chose, I'm going to do 3 hearts, and I will do 1 of each size. So included in the pattern, you're going to get a template for the hearts too. And you see that there are there's a large heart, and a medium, and a small, and you will get those. And that's what I did. I did a large, a medium, and a small of each one of these, and then I was able to make them assorted, you know, like on the project. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is with the pattern, like I said, you're going to get a template for the hearts. So you're going to take your fusible and you're going to cut it into strips. I cut these into 6-inch strips. So you really only need a piece of fabric that is 6 inches by 12 inches. And that will get you all 3 of your hearts. And I also cut my fusible, my Wonder Under, the same. I cut each piece that would fit on the back of the fabric. So I traced the hearts onto the fusible. You can see how I did it, just like this. All right, and then I am going to take these, and then I'm going to fuse it on the wrong side of the fabric. All right, so that's what we're going to do, and I've already done it on the back of this. I've already put the fusible. So if I did it first like that, then I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to trace each one of them. I didn't stop to think that I should have traced it on here before I put it on, but I'm telling you that that's you know, what you should do. You know, do as I say, not as I do, that kind of thing. But anyway, so you're going to get all of that done, and you're going to get all those on the back of your fabric, and then you are going to cut out each one of the hearts. And when you're done, you will have 8 big ones, 8 medium size, and 8 small ones from each one of them. All right, so since I've explained all of that and what you need, the next thing is that you need to get everything cut. So the first thing, out of the background fabric, the white fabric, the first thing that I think you need to do is to cut 4 strips that are 2.5 inches wide, and cut those first. I'm always worried if I cut the big piece first and then I go and it's like, oh my goodness, I don't have enough. So I would cut you need 4 2.5-inch strips of your background fabric. All right, so that's that. And then you need a 25-inch square. And you can see that I just cut it, and you're going to have some fabric left over when you do this, but you're going to have a 25-inch square. And then, I will show you what you're going to do with that. All right, and out of the fabric, here is the 1.5 inch. You're going to cut 4 1.5-inch fabric pieces for your inside border. And then here's the binding that I forgot to take home last night, and these are 4 2.5 strips of the binding, for binding. And here are all of our little hearts. And here they all are, all cut out and looking so nice. Okay, so there's the big ones, the medium-sized ones, and the little ones. All right, so we've got our pieces all cut out, and the first thing that I did was I took it over to the ironing board, and I have to make sure that I get the right side. I don't want to mess that up. All right, and I'm going to fold it in half this way, and then I am also going to fold it in half this way. And I went to the ironing board, and I'm just going to explain it to you. I'm not really going to do it. And I pressed here by the fold lines, where the corner is here. All right, and when I did that, it makes it an easy show, so you can see where the middle of this is. And that's important because that's where we're going to start from. And I am going to slide all this stuff over, and you can see. All right, let's go here. Slide this over. And don't forget, I talk to myself a lot, so when I do that, just, don't worry. I really haven't lost my mind. Okay, so here we are. And you can see that this is the middle section. So I'm going to take 4 of my big ones, and again, you can take a, look over here too, and all you have to do is you're going to place them point to point. And I did not take the back off, the paper backing for the Wonder Under or the fusible, whatever you're using, because I want to make sure that I've got them positioned where they should go. So I am going to put the point right in the middle, and I'm going to go around with this, and I'm going to put this one here. And you also have, when you're doing that, you also have to check where it comes in, like on the scallop part of it, to make sure that it is on the fold line also, because if you don't, then you're going to get them cockeyed, and you don't want to do that. So you're just going to go around and do that same thing all the way around. Now you can see when I cut this, I was off a little bit. I don't think it's going to make much of a deal because when I applique it, it's going to cover it up. Thank goodness. All right, and this is going to go in like that. All right, so we have our 4 middle ones, and they're all nose to nose there in the middle. And I'm going to slide these guys out of the way. And the next thing I'm going to do is to take the middle-sized ones. And the middle-sized ones are going to go in between here. So the only hard part about this whole thing is that you have to make sure you don't get the, 2 of the same fabrics next to each other, and that's why you don't take, the paper off the back until you've got everything placed where you want it. And so that's what you do. You just, follow the picture and place them where they're supposed to go. You know, they're gonna, oops, see, there, I was gonna goof it up. There we go. Put this one here. All right, in between the big ones. And then, you know, I kind of am looking at the picture, and we need another medium-sized one here. And we have to check it if it's on the fold line there. You have to make sure that they're going straight. So I think I'm going to stick this one over here. And like I said, you can put them anywhere you want. And then after you get them all out, all on here, then look at it and see if you need to rearrange anything. All right, so that's like that. And now I have to keep looking over here too, just like you would look at your picture that's in, you know, like on the pattern. I have to look at this one too. So this is going to go here. You know, you put the small one there. It's just kind of like a puzzle piece, you know, just arranging things. And I did, when I was doing it myself, I did get to one point, and well, like after I got them all out, and I did notice that I had some of the fabrics were the same, very close together, so I did have to move them around. All right, so, you know, and that's just what you do. And you put the big one back. So you're going to continue to do that and get them arranged, and then make sure you got them set down the way you like them, and then you're going to get your iron and you're going to press them in place. Take the paper off the back and get them pressed in place. I did not applique them down at this time, and the reason that I did not do that is because I like to get it all sandwiched, get the top done, get it sandwiched, and then I can applique it and quilt it at the same time. If you take a look at this, all right, I've appliqued it, but you can see that I use that as my quilting also. And it just saves me some time. And if I want to, later on, I can go back and I can do something in here to quilt it if I want to, or I can just leave it, you know, as it is. So after I get all of these down the way that I like them and the way that they should be, and I put one up in the corner, then I am going to put on my inside borders. And I'm really not going to get the machine out and do it. I'm just going to explain it to you. This measured 25 inches, so I'm going to cut two pieces that are 25 inches and two pieces that are 27. But I am going to, you know, tell you that it is really important to measure your piece before you cut the piece that's going to go on it. You know, like I measured 25 inches, but lo and behold, I'm going to go and cut 25 inches, you know, just because that's what the pattern says, and I'm going to go put it on, and it's either going to be too long or too short. So your best bet is to measure it as you go along. Put the side pieces on, then measure again, and then put the top and the bottom on. All right, and then do the same thing with your outside border. So you're probably going to be starting, your side borders are probably going to be around 27 inches, but make sure you measure it before you go cutting. And then your top ones are, I think they're like 30, something like that. But again, measure them. And then you're going to get, you know, like you'll have the whole thing done, and it will basically look like this. And now you're going to go back and you're going to do the application. You're going to applique them. And you can applique them by doing like the zigzag stitch, or you can use the blanket stitch. But if your machine does not have the blanket stitch, feel free to use the zigzag stitch on yours. Either one looks nice. I just like, personally, I like the look of the blanket stitch. It looks cleaner to me. And so that's what I did. And so you're just going to, you know, do the, applique them down, and then I stitched in the ditch around these, put the binding on it, and the project is done. If you wanted to make it as a wall hanging, you could put a sleeve on the back, but I think that I am going to use mine as a table topper in the middle of my table. I don't really have a whole lot of Valentine things at home for decorations, and I think this would be a really good one to use. Really, it didn't take very long, and of course, you know, the part that takes the longest is doing the applique. And I was really thinking, oh, this is going to take forever, but you know, I just went down with my little laptop, and you know, I watched a few episodes of Monk, and I just appliqued as I went along, and it really went along quite quickly. So here's a project that you can do for Valentine's Day, and you've got time to get it done. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any problems, you can call the store or whatever, or take a look at the video a couple of different times. And I'm sure that the library has they're going to have the pattern. I will have a copy here at the store also. And I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you the next time.